On August 22nd, 1191, a Crusader army led by Richard the Lionheart of England embarked on a strategic march from the recently captured port city of Acre towards the southern coastal city of Jaffa. Following the pivotal victory at Acre earlier that year, Richard recognized the critical importance of capturing Jaffa. This port would serve as a crucial staging ground for an eventual assault on Jerusalem, the ultimate prize of the Third Crusade. However, the challenges were significant. The Ayyubid Sultanate, commanded by the formidable Saladin, had laid waste to Jaffa's fortifications during the summer of 1190 to deny its use to the Crusaders. Richard's army was well prepared, consisting of around 2,000 mounted knights and approximately 10,000 to 12,000 men-at-arms, spearmen, archers, and crossbowmen. Saladin, anticipating Richard's movements, mobilized his forces with a singular goal: to prevent the Crusaders from reclaiming Jerusalem. Saladin's army was a force to be reckoned with, numbering around 25,000 soldiers, including elite Mamluk cavalry, Turkish horse archers, and contingents of Bedouin and Sudanese warriors. Richard advanced cautiously, keenly aware of the dangers of marching in the oppressive Arabian summer heat. Learning from the disastrous Crusader defeat at the Battle of Hattin 4 years earlier, Richard meticulously organized his forces to minimize fatigue and vulnerability. His army marched slowly, covering only 5 to 6 kilometers daily. The troops hugged the coastline, with the sea protecting their right flank, and advanced only in the mornings to avoid the worst of the day's heat. Frequent rest stops were made near water sources, and a fleet of supply ships shadowed the army along the coast, providing logistical support and refuge for the wounded. Despite the grueling conditions and constant harassment from Saladin's skirmishers, Richard's leadership ensured order and discipline. He rotated his infantry units regularly to keep them fresh and maintained a strict defensive formation, frustrating Saladin's attempts to weaken the Crusader ranks through hit-and-run tactics. By early September, Saladin realized that his strategy of harassment alone would not suffice to halt the Crusaders' advance. The Crusader army was now approaching the wooded region near Arsuf, a rare forested area in central Palestine that stretched along the seashore. Saladin saw an opportunity. The dense woodland could conceal his forces, enabling a sudden and overwhelming attack on the Crusader column. On the morning of September 7th, as Richard's forces broke camp and began their march, enemy scouts were spotted in all directions, signaling the proximity of Saladin's full army. Saladin gave the order for a large-scale assault, rallying his troops to fight with zeal. The Muslim army advanced, emerging from the cover of the woods to confront the Crusaders. As Saladin's forces surged forward, Richard's army quickly adopted a defensive formation. With their backs to the sea, the Crusaders positioned their infantry at the forefront, supported by archers and crossbowmen, while the mounted knights and supply trains were secured behind them. This disciplined arrangement proved critical in resisting the initial Muslim onslaught. Saladin's troops unleashed a relentless barrage of arrows, aiming to lure the Crusaders into breaking formation. Many Muslim horse archers dismounted to fire more effectively, using their agility and light bows to their advantage. Despite mounting casualties, Richard maintained strict control, refusing to allow his knights to charge prematurely and expose the rest of his army. Saladin's cavalry launched repeated charges, seeking to exploit any gaps in the Crusader lines. However, the disciplined Crusader ranks held firm, repelling the assaults with a combination of spears and concentrated missile fire. Richard's leadership was critical, as he continued to enforce order amidst the chaos. The turning point came when the Hospitaller Knights at the rear, enraged by the losses inflicted by Saladin's archers, broke ranks and charged headlong into the Muslim lines. This unexpected action quickly escalated as nearby Crusader units followed suit, charging in unison and breaking their defensive posture. The sudden and ferocious charge of the Hospitaller Knights shattered the Ayyubid ranks. Richard himself joined the fray, leading his knights in a devastating counterattack. The heavy cavalry smashed into Saladin's forces, causing widespread panic and disarray. Saladin's army, unable to withstand the momentum of the Crusader assault, began to collapse. Though Saladin's Mamluk guards and other elite units fought valiantly, they were eventually overwhelmed. Recognizing the danger of encirclement, Saladin ordered a retreat, leading his remaining forces up the forested hills of Arsuf. The battle was a decisive Crusader victory, though it came at a cost. Muslim chroniclers estimated their losses at around 7,000 men, though some accounts suggest the number may have been lower. The Crusaders reportedly suffered approximately 700 casualties. Despite their exhaustion, Richard's troops had triumphed, demonstrating superior discipline and leadership under pressure. The victory at Arsuf cemented Richard's reputation as a brilliant military commander and opened the path to Jaffa. However, the ultimate goal of retaking Jerusalem remained elusive, as both Richard and Saladin continued their struggle for dominance in the Holy Land.